Alright, Schlockmeister fan, I think this is something made for television. The power within, his greatest gift could end his life. Let's check it out. Exciting. Meet Chris.
Hi, my name's Chris Darrow. I'm your friendly pilot. What's your name?
He gives rides at the local carnival.
Marmalade, how do you feel?
I'm frightened.
Anyway, Chris goes on a date with this lady, but Daddy doesn't like it.
You want to bet?
Chris, this is my father.
Yeah, I guess that. Sir, I was just getting the door. And that's all you're gonna get.
Oswald Hamel gets a flat tire, and then this happens. But the lightning didn't kill him. Instead, it gave him some sort of special powers. Just like Emperor Palpatine. Seems like he has some superpowers now because he's actually lifting up his car. Or at least tilting it. So he goes to visit his dad, who's a general in the army. They don't get along all that well. But he needs help.
Well, one thing's for sure, we don't have the same tailor.
He demonstrates to his father what he can do.
And this?
He tells him about his mom, who died shortly after his birth.
So we could be together. There was an error in the device timing mechanism. It detonated before she could reach the observation bunker. You were born that afternoon. She died a month later.
I'd like to know why you told me this now after all these years.
Because it's a possibility that your mother, having been exposed to so much radiation, made it possible for you to survive that lightning strike.
So he brings his son to this lab. That's Susan Howard.
I've been noticing
She's going to check him out.
Equipment, like that security door out there, without affecting it at all. It feels like the power within me is decreasing. Liver.
These are some bad guys.
In fact, I think something's about to break. Right
That
now.
guy works for the government.
The,
He's
general
kind of
told me this morning
going
that
to turn
they're
over
ready
some
to
stuff
test
to the bad guys.
suspended animation life support system on a human being.
Make you responsible for that deadline.
They think they're getting some sort of extend life thing, but what they're putting on the other guy has nothing to do with this. They're basically installing what looks like a wristwatch on Chris. They've implanted some sort of thing in him. He needs to charge himself periodically, otherwise he's going to die. This watch will tell him where he's at.
Period of time.
Wait a minute, what do you mean a limited period of time?
If the level of voltage in your body sinks too low, your bodily functions will fail.
All time.
I think that thing also lets them keep tabs on him.
It's for our own good, Chris. You know that.
I'll see you later.
This is his buddy that he flies planes
We're
with.
singing now. You haven't flown for 10 days. Now tell me where you were. Okay. I was struck by lightning, turned into a combination transmitting antenna and car battery.
So the bad guys think Chris has whatever they're looking for, but he doesn't.
Holman's right. Its animated system is implanted in his body, and that's what made the sparks.
Is that some kind of nuclear power system or what?
I think so. If it stores the power, it...
You just spent 10 days in the hospital. You just come with us quietly. Car's right over there.
He can use his zapping powers as well. Well, since they couldn't get anything out of Chris, they decided to kidnap
No, go ahead.
her,
Thank you.
Susan Howard.
Oh,
said I could. Phil, you gotta. I need you.
I swore I'd never fly again. You know that.
Listen, if anything happens to Dr. Miller, Chris could die. She's the only one that knows how to keep him alive.
He agrees to help.
All right.
What do they want?
These men are desperate. They want the suspended animation life support system that you implanted into the General's son.
Suspended life animation system? No, I didn't.
Oh, please, Doctor. The General showed it to me in his office. He told me that you...
I don't know what you're talking about.
Anyway, his buddy's a little gun-shy about flying again, but he flies and they're going to land near where the bad guys are. They're going to try to rescue Susan. Or Joanne, Dr. Miller.
Denton,
They find her.
what are you doing here?
I'm afraid we pay him more than your father does.
General, there's no reason for anyone to get hurt. All we're interested in is the suspended animation system on your left wrist.
A fight ensues.
Look at him! What do I do?
Get him out of the metal. He's losing energy. Don't be afraid to touch him.
Anyway, his buddy has to fly Chris out of there again because he's hurt. And after a shaky flight, he touches down with Chris, who's unconscious. So they arrive, they put him in this tube, and they call Dr. Miller to
Yes, sir.
come help them.
Yes, here she comes now. Right. Make sure she gets in all right.
Dr. Miller's help and some sound effects from Star Trek. They're able to revive Chris. He's going to be okay.
He's holding it.
I just have one favor to ask.
So he says his goodbyes
I know. Keep in touch.
until the TV series starts,
Okay.
which never happened.
Goodbye.
Take care.
All right. Let's talk about The Power Within. This is a movie. I don't know if I actually saw it before today. Maybe I did one time. This was a pre-recorded VHS tape that I inherited from my fellow Schlockmeister Jeff when he got rid of all his videotapes. I inherited this one. It's a made-for-TV movie from 1979. I believe they were thinking about making a TV series out of this, just never panned out. So what we got here is basically a 74-minute TV movie. It's about this guy, Art Hindle plays him, and he gets struck by lightning, but instead of dying, he inherits some sort of electricity power. Turns out his mother, who died shortly after he was born, I think she got hit with electricity or something. I can't remember exactly what she said, but somehow this power absorbed through her, through him, and now he's like super Electro Man or something. But I don't know, it's not clear exactly what his powers are. I mean, he can zap people with his fingers, kind of like the Emperor in Return of the Jedi, and like zap them away, but we still don't know exactly what else he can do, if anything. That seems to be the only thing he can do, and it seems like he does have some strong powers, like he was able to lift up a car or some people, but it's not quite hashed out as to what exactly he can and can't do. But anyway, there's some bad guys who think he's been implanted with something and they want to get it from him. What he was actually implanted with was basically like a charger. He needs to be charged up periodically, otherwise he's going to die. So he goes to his dad who works in the military, and his dad brings him to this other lady who can help him out. They basically give him like a wristwatch, which is attached to this implant that's in his wrist. And he has to charge himself daily, otherwise he's going to run out of juice and die. So the bad guys want that, but they think it's something else, and it's not what they think it is. And there's a showdown. They kidnap the doctor. He's got to go rescue her at the end by taking a plane. And with his buddy, they like do some like stunt shows for carnivals and things. And they get the bad guys. They get out of there, and ultimately everything ends up okay. We're led to believe that this is going to be some sort of crime drama show where he's like the greatest American hero, which came out in the 80s, and that's what he's going to be from week to week, fighting crime as Super Electro Man or whatever the hell he is. But that never happened, obviously, never got picked up. So anyway, that's the movie. Susan Howard and Art Hindle and a few other people who, Eric Braden, some people I don't recognize. So, but that's the movie, The Power Within. Like I said, it came out on videotape. It was one of those clamshell boxes. I think Prism put this out. They put out a lot of good stuff, actually, in the 80s. And It's kind of rare. I will leave a link down below for Amazon, but it's not available on Amazon right now. So check it out on eBay. Maybe you can track it down. It does seem kind of rare, like I said, so I'm glad I have it. There's only 2 reviews on IMDb for this movie right now. Both of them remembered it fondly. And yeah, it's okay. It's cheesy, but it's kind of fun. It's your typical late 70s kind of TV schlock. So anyway, his greatest gift could end his life. There you go. I don't even think that's Art Hindle on the box, but whatever, right? So anyway, this is what the box looks like. It's not available on DVD. It's available VHS only, like I said. And this is some homemade box art made for this and burned it myself. So I don't think that's Art Hindle. Anyway, check it out. It's The Power Within. Maybe it's streaming on YouTube, too. Who knows? It's not bad. And it's a good way to kill 74 minutes. Watch it. Check it out. Leave some comments. The Power Within. Bye.